Fuck, man! Fuck! Oh, fuck, man! Don't kill me, man, please. I got a family and shit, man. Fuck! You fucking dumbass!
So BattleBit Remastered grabbed Battlefield by the balls and Call of Duty by the nipples and ran circles around them. The game was developed by three dudes and they managed to disrupt the AAA gaming market. Or sorry, Ubisoft, the quadruple A gaming market, my bad. The game was served to us on a golden platter, but how and why did BattleBit go from this?
Fucking Viet Cong.
Grenades, boys! I'm getting shot from behind! Fuck! It's locked.
Oh, this guy there. Fuck.
I got him! Woo!
Oh shit, no.
Watch out. Move.
Just leave me, brother.
Ah, no. Alright, babe.
To this.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up. What actually happened to BattleBit though? Like seriously, we haven't had an update in over a year now. And the updates before that honestly weren't really much to talk about. The devs have just gone AWOL on us and have vanished like a fart in the wind. Has the game become abandonware now? This is what some of the players are starting to call it. Either way, we'll have a look and see what's going on. Just look at the sheer amount of players that were on this game. Within a few weeks, I think they sold nearly 2 million copies. Not even Belle Delphine's bathwater sold as quick as that. You sick fucks. 2023 was definitely a bit of a peak, you know, era for indie games in my opinion. We got Lethal Company, a game made by a furry. I know, hear me out, there is a good game, like, it's evidenced that it's a great game. Oh my God. Palworld essentially is like the US version of Pokemon. Starship Troopers was unreal. I like it, obviously, I made a video on it, of course it's gonna be a good game, like. And this thing. AAA has been declining in quality. It was the start of, you know, the rise of the indies essentially, and the devs of BattleBit like released an absolute banger to kick it off. It seemed like there was a bright future ahead of it, but maybe a little bit too bright. It was the beginning of the end. The first signs of trouble didn't come around until about a year after release, when the devs kept pushing back a major update that was due. By this point we had a few updates, nothing major to write home about. Just a few nerfs of weapons, a few map reworks, and the custom server browser added, which are, in fairness, they're decent. It's a decent update, but nothing like amazing. All nice features, yes. Maybe apart from the nerfs. I hear you, Helldiver 2 players. Us BattleBit players got hurt first, I'm just saying. So from essentially April 19th of 2024, there has been like radio silence. I tried tweeting at them because my presence online is phenomenal. You know? And to my surprise, I got no reply. So obviously a year without a major update is going to cause the player count to significantly drop. And legit, the player count at the minute is lower than Bonnie Blue's body count. So where did the devs actually go? So from stalking them, I mean, browsing their socials, we can see that there has been radio silence. The only somewhat recent post we got is from the art designer. No one's questions or like frustrations have been answered. They've straight up just kind of been ignoring the community, which is a major red flag and basically a middle finger. It's not good when a dev gives no information on, you know, what's happening. Just look how well Helldivers 2 and Repo have been doing. And I honestly think this is partially because the devs are so like transparent about what they're doing and admitting when they're wrong and, you know, kind of engaging with the community a lot. It's such like a good thing in my opinion from a game company to interact with the community and be transparent, especially in this day and age. As the game currently sits, it doesn't look very hopeful for BattleBit, even if the devs managed to shove out, you know, a major update. And people have moved on elsewhere. This is obviously expected to happen with you know, all games eventually, but with a game that, you know, rivaled the top dogs such as, you know, Battlefield and Call of Duty, and it looks like a fucking Roblox game, that says a lot. And just for them to kind of abandon it like this is just such a shitty move. I still like to hop on myself every now and then and have a quick match, but it feels like it's lost the magic. Nobody seems to use the proximity shot anymore, you know, to throw toxic slurs at each other like they used to. Listen, I think it's time we can lay this beautiful bastard of a game to rest. Who knows, maybe in the future it might return to the height it once, you know, was when it first released. Highly doubt it, but, you know, Battlefield is potentially going back to its old roots. I know it's an alpha, so take that with a grain of salt. But has BattleBit, you know, finally shaken them awake? You know, DICE kind of needs it, or it's more EA needs a bit of a boot up the ass. For now, anyway, I shall continue playing Schedule 1 to get my kick, you know, until the next hit indie game comes along. Alright, well, anyway, I shall see you all on the battlefield whenever BattleBit Remastered comes out. 2030, baby! Alright, that's all. You can go away now.
I shitted in my pants. I am for real.